Greetings, welcome to this new Morin Khuur instrument test video. In this video we will test four semi-professional Morin Khuur. So let's get started directly. So we will start with Morin Khuur that is kind of in the dark color. So semi-professional, you can see the finish. As usual, we have ebony for the tail, ebony for the fingerboard. The core as well of the peg is in ebony. Then for the horse head, we have something like that. So it's very shiny, very, I would say, very glossy finish. As you can see, I'm not too crazy personally of this type of finish, but so I can see already there are a few things that I'm not too much of a fan. The finish of the front is a little bit, there are a few scratch. There is also some kind of like leaking or spill around the F-hole. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. So it's basically aesthetic stuff. So not really important in terms of like durability or sound influence, but it's for the good looking of the instrument. So I don't think you will be able to see in the video, but here there is some kind of spill, there is a mark here, some scratch. So that's for the body. The neck is pretty good, and there is also some paint here, which is a little bit unfortunate. Other than that, it's pretty okay. So let's see how it sounds. Well, the sound is actually pretty good. The balance between the lower and the higher string is pretty okay. I would tend to say that maybe it's a little bit sharp. It could use a little bit more bass. Other than that, well, it's a pretty nice sounding instrument. So in terms of sound, it's definitely good. In terms of finish, it's a little bit on the lower quality side, I would say. So on the sound, you are like on the medium high quality. On the making, you are a little bit on the lower medium finish, I would say. But definitely a very first interesting instrument that we got. We still have three to check. So the next one is a little bit more bright in color. It also has a little bit less glossy finish. It looks actually much cleaner, I would say. Same, we have the ebony for the tail, ebony for the fingerboard, same ebony for the core of the pegs. Here No, it's a painting thing. Okay. Well, the finish is actually pretty decent, considering it's pretty nice, even though it looks a little bit more simple in color. Here we have kind of like a line. I think it's like a painting. It doesn't look like it was two pieces of wood glued, so it's only one piece of wood. But there is this little line, painting line, which is a little bit unfortunate, I would say. Then for the head, it's that type of finish. So let's see how it sounds. Okay, well, I think this one is actually a little bit better than the first one. It has a little bit more presence, it has a little bit more bass. The balance between the two strings is very good. It's also very comfortable to play. And the finish, in my opinion, is a little bit better. The only bemol I would say in the finish is that little line kind of in the painting. Other than that, it's definitely better than the previous one. So now we are going with that one. So let's check the last two, the next two, if it gets even better. So well, here we go. We are a little bit on a brighter color, and what I can say directly is that the wood is better than the two previous instruments. The making is also pretty good. The finish is also pretty nice. So basically we have a little bit, the wood is definitely better. You can see here the wood of the body is much better than the previous one. Then for the core, for the horse head, sorry, we have something like that. So also pretty nice. It's very clean. It's well done, well carved, and all. So I think that here it gets better. So hopefully the sound will also be as good or better. So it's brand new. So unfortunately, I guess that you can hear the sound is not that good. So for me, the second one, the previous one, is much better. Here we have a sound that is very mute. There is not a lot of presence, too much bass. And the lower string is very low in volume, so it lacks clarity, presence. So even though the wood is better and the making is a little bit better, but it's pretty close to the previous one in terms of making, the sound is much. Now we are in the lower. We are almost in the not the study instrument, but kind of like in the. We are in the lower sound quality for the semi-professional. So, well, I would not recommend that one if you are more interested in the sound of the instrument, which is usually what we want. So, well, that's unfortunate because the look was pretty nice, but the sound is lacking too much presence. So now we have a second, last one, the last one of the four. So same kind of color, similar wood than the previous one. So I think that it's gonna be pretty much the same, maybe. So well, let's see how it goes. And for the head, we have something like that. So well, hopefully it is a little bit better in sound. This one is actually pretty nice. So there is a few little things. For example, there is a line here as well. I don't know if you can see, just like a line like that. There is nice thing, nice detail here actually. So well, actually that one is pretty cool. So let me check the second one again. Actually, the last one is better in the sense that it's a little bit more mellow. So actually, I think that one is maybe the best of the four. I would say this one instead of the second one because that one is a little bit more open. It tends to project the sound a little bit more, and somehow I got a little bit more inspired by that one during my kind of like try. So means that instrument might be a little bit more like soulful than the previous one. So that's why I think I would choose that one. So let me just give a last look on the making, see if there are any weird. No, it's actually pretty nice. Here there is like also a nice wood eye, if I could say, which is actually pretty cool. And yeah, the making is fairly nice. So yeah, I think I would go with that one. So well, let me know in the chat when we discuss if you agree with my decision. So I will log that one, the last one, for you. And if it's good for you, then we can move forward and I will prepare and ship that instrument to you. So see you in the chat. Bye bye.